Hello everyone, and we are going to be looking at Tropical Storm Laura and Tropical Depression 14 and how they both can be making impacts on the Gulf states in the next week. However, before we could get into the forecast, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new and turn on post notifications so you won't miss a single upload. Right now, we are currently looking at the Atlantic tropical cyclones and disturbances. As you can see, we currently do have Tropical Storm Laura making impacts on the Lesser Antilles. We currently do have tropical storm warnings for the Lesser Antilles, also the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico as of right now. We also do have tropical storm watches over by the Bahamas and Cuba. So definitely this will be becoming a hurricane once it gets to around the Florida area. We also do have Tropical Depression 14 right now around maximum sustained winds of 35 miles per hour. Also, it's expected to turn into a hurricane before making landfall on portions of Texas and Louisiana. Really gonna have to watch these for some pretty big impacts for the Gulf states. Here's the current cone of uncertainty for Tropical Storm Laura. As you can see, like I said, we currently do have tropical storm warnings for the Lesser Antilles and the Puerto Rico area. For the Dominican Republic and Haiti, you currently do have tropical storm watches, and the Bahamas, you're seeing tropical storm watches as well. As you can see, it is expected to make impacts on Puerto Rico by 8 a.m. Saturday, and then still a tropical storm by 8 p.m. Sunday, impacting portions of Cuba. And you get to 8 a.m. Tuesday, and now a hurricane. And then 8 a.m. Wednesday, still a hurricane, now making impacts on portions of Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, and even portions of Louisiana as well. Current intensity guidance, and we are seeing a couple models going up to Category 4. That's definitely pretty worrying here for the Gulf states. You're seeing two different models going up to a Category 4 hurricane. We did have 3 earlier, but now we do have only 2. 2 is definitely a decent amount. So a major hurricane is definitely possible with this, but unlikely at this point until we do get closer to when this does make landfall. We'll have a really bigger perspective of what this is going to do. Category 1 hurricane is definitely likely with this one, and a tropical storm is going to most likely stay right now, but Category 1 is also likely. Now, most of these global model track guidances, these are the spaghetti models as you're looking here, and most of them are going up here into the Alabama area and Florida area as well. You're actually seeing a couple going over to where Tropical Depression 14 is. So now definitely won't combine or anything to make it like a massive hurricane, but definitely it could be making some bigger impacts than normal if it decides to go over to the Texas area here. Now the GFS models also show pretty much practically the same thing. Lastly, the CMC and symbols does show a little different perspective here. It looks like it will be going into Florida. Most likely won't be happening. Typically, this is what the CMC does. Pretty much points out all the possible tracks. Doesn't really point out the most reliable track, but definitely all of these tracks that the CMC is showing is possible. Now here's the current cone of uncertainty for Tropical Depression 14. As you can see, it is expected to become a hurricane in the middle of the Gulf, and then by landfall, you should be already down to a tropical storm. 8 a.m. Wednesday still making impacts as a tropical storm. Currently do have tropical storm warnings for portions of Mexico and also kind of that other portion of Mexico. You are seeing some tropical storm watches. This should be making impacts on Texas by 8 a.m. Tuesday. Intensity guidance for this one, there's a couple going up to Category 1 hurricane, but most of them are staying under a tropical storm. There's one going up to a high-end Category 1 hurricane, so a high-end Category 1 hurricane or possibly a very low-end Category 2 hurricane is possible. Global hurricane models, they practically show the same path here. Some are going over here to more eastward into Louisiana and getting very close here to the Tropical Storm Laura, or if you want to call it Hurricane Laura, once it turns into a hurricane over there by Florida. By next week, we should be seeing impacts there. GFS spaghetti models, and they pretty much show the same exact path for that main black line. And let's look at lastly the CMC spaghetti models, and it, like I said, it practically does the same thing. Every single storm shows every single possible path. Could even go into the panhandle of Florida if it does decide to, but most likely not. It's gonna go into Texas right here. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new, and turn on post notifications so you won't miss a single upload. Also, make sure to share this video with any friends or family that may be impacted by these tropical storms. Anyways, stay safe.